Hello, beautiful people of the world. Welcome back to Familia Pablanu. I am the one and only Anu.
Yo soy Pablo, solamente Pablo. And in this segment, we're going to be sharing a lot of family drama, a lot of stuff that was going on with us at the time, leading up to and including the wedding.
Yeah.
So there's a lot that happened. There's a lot of things. It's going to be very, very difficult to talk about.
Yeah, you'll need that popcorn, definitely, for sure.
It'll be a bit raw.
As well as some tissues. But without further ado, let's begin.
Mama Africa, your children are home.
For all of our subscribers that's been liking, sharing, and subscribing, we say thank you. We appreciate you. And if you're new to our channel, welcome to Familia Pablanu. And what are you even waiting for? Have you pressed the subscribe button yet? And don't forget to press the bell button next to it so you get notifications when we post new videos. We have a series lined up for you guys. And if our videos pique your interest, we encourage you to press the like button as well, and or super thanks. Thank you so much. We thank you. I need to give a disclaimer before I proceed. When you see this video, all of you viewers, you might be tempted to put in the comment section, I know you were wrong. I know you were wrong. You shouldn't have done this. You shouldn't have done that. But I need to let you guys know that this is a healing process for me. And this is part of my healing. Doing this video is part of my healing. Do you know how many times I've been told I was wrong and what you did was not good? I was told many, many times. So please bear with me. I hope you can sympathize with me. Why I did these things that I did, I don't even know. Hey, again, when brainwashing happens, you don't even know what you're doing. So please, if you have the urge to say, I know you are wrong in the comment section, please hold that urge. It's going to be a lot of emotion for me, guys. Please bear with me. It's going to be a lot of ups and downs for me. So remember I said the last time there was a text message that changed everything. So the thing that happened, so when my parents could not get a hold of me, my sister would text, my brother would text me, they'll call. My phone is on, their phone number is on silent. It's not blocked but silent, so I wouldn't be able to receive that. I saw the messages, but I just didn't respond. Because Pablo said, don't let your love grow cold, just don't respond. So I didn't respond. I saw the messages, I didn't respond to them.
Well, at this point, obviously her family, I say obviously now, at the time I was like, what is this? But obviously her family was getting very, very worried. Very worried for her. We're calling even more, texting even more, trying to see who can reach out to her that she'll maybe actually answer. Reaching out to extended family, friends, anyone they could. And that's the other thing is my dad. So Anu's dad tried to contact my dad, right? To be like, hey, we're the father-in-laws here. Like, what's going on with our kids? That sort of a thing. And my dad refused to pick up because he was scared. And like I said, I had inherited this fear from him. So he's like the source of all this fear, I guess you could say. And yeah, he was too afraid to pick up. But the way he turned it out was, I'm not, that's y'all's business. I'm not getting involved in that. But basically, yeah, I mean, he could have just talked to him and said, hey, yeah, I know, it's okay. We'll work this out. It's fine. Nothing, not a single olive branch, nothing, and it could have really helped calm things down. Either me or my dad, any one of us could have been talking and calm things down. And, but no, he refused. He refused to even answer. I still had this Southern thing of, respect your elders, and I still wanted to respect him in that way. But my answers and the way that I was kind of going at things was very much like, oh, well, I mean, he shouldn't, why isn't he talking to me? Like, why is he going around talking to all these people? If there's a problem, with me, just come talk to me, But I was completely ignoring the personhood of Anu, because that's how I was trained. I was trained that, no, the man's the one that takes responsibility. He's the one that goes forward, and the woman follows along, docilely, I guess is the word, and supports the man in these efforts.
I keep telling Pablo, like, hey, this is my father. I mean, he loves his daughter. He's not going to stop. So then I received a text message that changed everything. And the message was that, I know there's something wrong, and I know that you're not fine. This is not the I know that I know. I am going to come and save you, and you will know that I am your father. You sent that long text message to me. I saw the message. I didn't maybe I responded like, do not come. I'm doing okay. Don't come here. I'm fine, or something. I don't remember what I responded. But then I showed it to Pablo.
hey, we don't know what's going on with you. You know, maybe you're chained in a basement somewhere, that sort of idea. We're coming, we're taking some family members from New York, and we're all coming there to Indiana, and we're going to save you basically from this. And you will know that I am your father, that sort of a thing. So when I read those texts, because Anu showed them to me, and I was like, whoa, I was like, and I hardly knew the man, but because, you know, like I said, my father put this stuff in me to be afraid, and to hold at bay. Oh, there's a nice bird up there. I saw that, instead of saying, whoa, let me calm this down, like, you know, tell you what, Anu, you calm too, like, this is over the top, like, you know, let's calm down and say, hey, everything's okay, let's work this out. No, that didn't even cross my mind. Again, it was seeing any kind of resistance. That's a term that my father used a lot, keyword, right? That would trigger us to suddenly freeze up and be like, you know, stay back. This is demonic stuff happening. This is not normal, that kind of a thing. So when I saw those texts, I was like, oh my gosh, hunker down, call the cops, whatever, you know.
And I said, yeah, that's my father. Of course he cares about me and he's worried that there's something wrong with him. Please, you two at least talk. You two talk. And he says, and he said, what is that? He has my number. If anything is the matter, he will call me, he will contact me. And he has that arrogant and he wouldn't hear what I said. But I said, no, you took his daughter. He's not going to stop. And he said, okay, it's not going to stop. We have to do something about it.
And I really did. I talked to the police and I was like, hey, so what would I do if this man came and was violent? What are my options? You know, that sort of a thing. Because I really had this fear of both physical confrontation as well as verbal confrontation, as well as this combined thing of like demonic confrontation, right? Spiritual confrontation, and the idea that that's going to cause all this trouble and mental anguish and no sé qué. So there was all of that together. It was just a lot of fear, and so I was like, okay, what do I do? So I asked the police about things, and they were like, I mean, just avoid confrontation, basically. And I was like, okay, that's not really helpful. So so I was like, okay, I don't know what's going down, but you know, it might be violent. And she tried to say, no, my dad's not like that. Like, why are you even afraid like that? She couldn't understand. But I just had, you know, so many years of this in me that it just all came out, this fear. So I said, hey, how about you come stay in my apartment? I had another room in my apartment. I was like, hey, come stay here. I think my sister was there as well. I was like, hey, can you come stay here, you know, for the week or something until things calm down, just in case. We don't know what's going to go on, just to be safe. I don't know. And so yeah, during that week, some of the kind of courting rules that I had in my head kind of started to break down a bit, and we might do a video on that as well, just to show kind of where we were at relationship-wise and affection-wise. But after that week, I was like, I don't know, nothing happened. We didn't hear anything, so I was like, okay, well, all right. So she went back to her apartment.
So not too long after that is, I think, there was it was a work at a university there in Indiana. So one of the days, just since I didn't respond to phone calls and text messages, and they are really worried about me, like, what is happening to their Anu? Is she stolen? Is she kidnapped? They want to know. But why isn't she responding to our calls and all that? This is unusual of her. So they, my mother and my father drove all the way from Louisiana. And
then it was a few days after that, my father-in-law and my mother-in-law, as I was there grading, I was just starting grading papers, and I looked up, I heard a knock, I looked up, and I had a window in my office door, and there was my father-in-law and mother-in-law standing there, right outside my office, smiling.
So that my mother and my father showed up at Pablo's office, work office, and they were so tired, they were exhausted. Pablo told me later on what happened. You know, he called me up, like, say, guess who showed up at my work? I'm like, the police again? Because he said, no, your parents, they showed up, and they were saying, what is? Yeah, Pablo will tell you guys what they said.
I freaked out. Like I said, I had all this fear and stuff. So my heart, even now, like heart was just bursting out of my chest and just really, really messed up. And I was just like, God. But like I said, I was brought up in the South, so I was like, okay, wow. Have you all drunk anything? No water. Okay, let me go get some water for you. So I brought water for Mama. So did all the, the superficial, responsible young Southern man thing, right? But yeah, so they came in my office and sat down and basically, Baba told me that basically I was doing it wrong, and he said, you're doing this wrong. This is all wrong. And I said, well, how should we be doing it, And he's like, well, basically, and he, explained kind of his side of it, his cultural side of it, which was, this wedding, basically he should be very much involved. This is not, it's not about us. It's about him showing off his daughter, and being able to make a big, big shindig, big party out of it. And they need money and they need time to be able to organize that sort of a thing. And we're going too fast and we're not including them and all this kind of stuff. And which is valid from his own perspective and everything. From my perspective, I had been inculcated that this is how you do a wedding, this is how you do marriage, right? And it was very strict. And it was the man has to be the one to do this. He has to be the one to organize everything. He has to be the one to, and it's about him and his wife, right? It's about them together. And in my mind, I was a little bit more calm, I guess, than most of my siblings when it came to that. I wasn't so deep in it, where I was like, hey, this is about, at least on the surface, right? There was still a lot of control from my father and that sort of sphere, religious stuff. But from my point of view, I was like, this is about us. It's about Anu and I, and it's celebrating our day, right? Celebrating the start of our marriage, and it should be a blessing for anyone who's able to come and celebrate it with us, was my idea. And so I basically told my father-in-law, no, that's not what we're gonna do. Like, we're not going to do that. It's not about you, it's about us, And I was pretty blunt about it. Pretty rude about it, I mean, I did listen to him respectfully, listen to him and everything, but I was basically like, no, that's wrong, because morally, again, it was a moral issue to me. It had been inculcated in me from so long that this is how it's supposed to be. And so I was just kind of like, this is how we're doing it, And he's like, that's wrong, like, how are you just going and doing whatever, and why are you so upset at me? He said, like, I'm not marrying my daughter, right? I'm never going to marry my daughter, right? So I'm not the husband here. This isn't about my future with her. He's like, no, but it's still about celebrating, her and the accomplishments and her as my daughter, and it reflects back on me, basically, is what how he explained it. And anyways, so after that meeting, I said, they prayed and then left. And as they were leaving, I was like, hey, where are y'all going? They're like, yeah, we're going back to Louisiana. I was like, okay. I don't think that's true. I think they're probably going to go see Anu. So I told, and this was terrible, is of course they would want to go see their daughter. They went all that way. Of course they're going to want to see their daughter, especially after she hasn't been talking to them. And so of course they would go and wait, for her to get out of work, maybe outside of her work, maybe outside of her apartment. And but in my mind it was still this, like demonic spirits, there's things associated with it. It was just this really weird mentality that I had, that I was given, and I was like, this could be bad. Let me call Anu. So I told her, hey, your parents are in town. I'm kind of messed up right now. They just came in and yeah, found me, basically. And I was like, I think, they said they're going back home, but I don't know if that's true. So maybe just come have dinner at my place tonight. Just come straight to my place and maybe that will be better. So she came, and a little bit after that, I think we were having dinner, and there was a call. There was a lot of calls from her roommate, from the parents, calling me, and basically there was just this confrontation it was a complete mess. I think we even told her roommate, because they were trying to come in, and said, hey, we want to see Anu. And she was like, hey, your parents are here. And Anu was like, just tell them, don't let them in. And she's like, I can't not let them in. They're your parents, because her roommate was Chinese and also respected parents, right? And she's like, I can't do that. So she let them in, and they were demanding, her number. Or not her number. They were demanding for her to call her. They were demanding, to talk to her. They were demanding a lot of things, which is reasonable. Now that I look at it, it was very reasonable. And I can't believe we even told her, tell them you're going to call the police if they don't leave. Again, like I said at the beginning, people can do terrible things and thinking that it's good, that it's holy, what have you, moral. But what I did, my part in that, was I took away the chance of her parents to see her, get a chance to see her, talk to her, know that she's alive, know that she's okay, and also get a chance to speak some reason to her, I took away that chance. And it haunts me to this day, these situations. They haunt me to this day, and it hurt her mother so much, Mama she was very angry at me, reasonably so. And over the phone, she was very upset at me, saying, "What are you doing? I just want to see my daughter." And I just, where I was at, I just kind of shut down and was just like, I can't. I was, respectful in words, but just didn't budge. And so they ended up leaving. They ended up going, and late at night. And here they had spent the whole previous night driving there. Just sent them away like that. And they drove all night back, and Daddy even texted me and let me know that they were going into a storm. And he was like, hey, there's tornadoes here. I see people parked under bridges. I see a sign that's been ripped off. Like, he was letting me know what was going on. And they even saw a tornado in the distance. I think they were in Arkansas. I mean, they could have died. And then how Anu felt, I can't even imagine. But
So when I told Pablo that they're not going to stop, hey, they care about me, he's like, okay, I must do something about this, because, they keep, this is getting too much, because this man is not talking to me. He needs to talk to me, but he's not. But it's just trying to go around me to go talk to Anu. Must do something about it. So they call up. He started looking into ways to take this to court.
So after that, I, again, in my current mindset at that time, I said, okay, it looks like Baba won't stop at anything. And from some discussions I had with Anu, it seemed like, yeah, he won't, which is a beautiful thing, that he wouldn't stop. That he loves his daughter that much, he would not stop. He would keep coming, keep doing whatever he can to reach her, which is a beautiful thing. Any father should do that. But I took it as a threat, because of the way I was raised, and I was scared. And rather than continuing conversing with him, talking to him, trying to, work things out, instead I said, how can we stop him from coming?
And for me, when he said he wanted to maybe go to court and do a restraining order, file a restraining, I'm like, I won't be part of this. And I said, yes, again, yeah, he's not going to stop, but no, it's not going to be a problem for us. But he already thinking there will be a lot of spirit involved, and he will affect his family and protect his boundary, all of that cultish talking. I said, no, what do you mean? He's not going to come here and come and punch you in the face. No, he's not a violent person. I just want to know what is going on with his daughter. But he was convinced that, okay, he has to do this court thing because nothing's going to stop him unless there's a restrainer. I'm like, don't do that. Please don't do that. But for some reason, he went along with it. He did it.
And I don't know if it was my dad. I know I was having conversations with him. I don't know, but it got in my mind, and it probably was my dad, actually, the idea of a restraining order. And so I don't know how I did. I think I researched something. I ended up talking to a victim's advocate. Victim's advocate. I felt like a victim. It was because that day after they showed up at my office, I was so messed up. I couldn't grade those papers that I needed to grade. I couldn't do it physically, mentally. I just couldn't do it. I had trauma. That's how bad this stuff is that I was taught. It caused a simple thing like that to cause me trauma, to where I couldn't function for weeks. And so I went to this victim's advocate, and of course they don't judge or anything. They just try to note down all of the things that you say to then package it in a way that they can give it to the courts. And so, I told everything, and the woman's like, hey, I'm not here to judge, I'm just writing down what you're saying. And I explained, the whole situation from my perspective, obviously. And so then when the court date came, I was told, they probably won't show up, and the restraining order will probably just go through, because it was a pretty quick date, it was pretty soon. It was like a month out or a few weeks out. Anyway, so I ended up taking my father-in-law to court.
In the back of my mind, what was there is that I was actually a little scared because I was in Louisiana. I finished school, undergrad, and I was in Louisiana. I got a job. I was living with my friend, and my father said, you have to come to Chicago. I said, no, I'm fine where I am. Let me do this job that I have for a few years or so, or just see where things take me. And he said, no, I want you to go to Chicago and come and live with us. There are better opportunities here. And I'm like, I don't want to come there. Again, I don't like the cold, so I don't want to go there. There's so many reasons why I don't want to go there. But he said, no, I am your father. And you do, as I say, I was only 19 years old then. So I said no. And he showed up one day with a moving van and towed my vehicle to the back of the moving van and moved me to Chicago. I was very pissed. I didn't have a choice in this. I didn't have any. I said no, but I still do it anyways. So it seemed like I had. Pablo also reminded me of my father, because no matter how much I say I don't want something, I was also being silent. Whatever I want doesn't matter. These men seem to know what is best for me, and I just got a little fear that when he said I will come and rescue you, and I'm like, is he going to pack my things again and ship me to? Hey, by the way, they moved back to Louisiana, and I'm like, hey, is he gonna ship me again to Louisiana, because that would be the best place for me to find prospective suitors. So I was a little afraid. I'm like, I'm already in Indiana. I'm establishing myself. I got a job here, got a place to live, and I'm doing okay. So it's telling me it's coming to save me, and I got scared. And I think I told Pablo, like, hey, it's not going to stop. And that one thought of court restraining order. I'm like, no, I'm not about the court. No, but when do I get to be me? When do I get to get the support with what I want for once in my life? Again, I feel a little, I don't know the word to use for it, because because it seemed like I married someone. I was about to get involved with somebody that also acting like my father. Again, it's nothing about what the woman wants, and the men know better than what the woman wants. And it seems like it's happening over and over again to me, and I just wanted to be free. I just want to do my own thing. When do I get to be me? And I went to court, and he came back and tell me, he will tell you what happened in court, because I was at work and I told him I don't want anything to do. I'm not going. I would not. He wanted me to go there. He said it will have more weight if you go there and do the restraining. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. I don't want to see them. I want them to be at least be happy for me, support me once in my life, in something that I want to do, So thank you so much for watching this this segment. We hope you've enjoyed it. And there's more to that story. Yeah, everything leading up to the wedding. So for the next episode, make sure you have your popcorn as well as tissue. And while you're at it, grab a friend so you can watch it together. Thank you for being part of our therapy. This is what healing looks like for us.
It's something that we know will help people in the future, to be able to look out for, be careful, and hopefully learn from our mistakes.
Yeah.
And learn from, what can happen to someone, when they fall into a cult.
Right.
And also how to love people like that and how to be there for them.
Yeah. Well, until next time, we'll catch you in the next episode. Ciao.
Ciao.
Adios. Bye.